So I went through the best TV and streaming shows of 2026 so far, and I'm gonna give you 8 shows that are genuinely worth your time. And look, some of these are getting buzz, some of them are criminally under-talked about, but all 8 of them, I think, are legitimately great television. So let's get into it. Now, Steel is not trying to be prestige television. It knows exactly what it is, and it commits to it fully, which is part of why I love it. The whole thing kicks off with a group of armed robbers storming the trading floor of a City of London pension fund in broad daylight, and it just goes from there. Sophie Turner, yes, Sansa Stark, is the junior analyst who gets swept up in the whole thing, and she is genuinely impressive here. Like, I don't think people are talking about her performance enough. She carries 6 episodes with this kind of steely, controlled energy, and it works perfectly. There's a bit of a capitalism is corrupt subtext floating around underneath it all, but honestly, the show doesn't hit you over the head with it. It's mostly just a really fun, fast, gloriously daft crime thriller. If you need something to just watch and enjoy without thinking too hard, Steel is your show. Okay, so you might remember the 2017 movie The Snowman, which was based on Joe Nesbø'S Harry Hole novels. And if you do remember it, I'm sorry. It was not good. Not good at all. So here's the thing though. This time, Joe Nesbø himself wrote the screenplay. He adapted his own book, and the difference is night and day. Detective Hole on Netflix is based on the 6th Harry Hole novel, The Devil's Star, and it is a proper Nordic Noir, police corruption, gang violence, a serial killer who has a very specific thing for diamonds. Tobias Santelman plays Hole, and the character is almost comically hard-boiled, like almost a parody of the genre, but it works. It's dark, it's layered, it's atmospheric. And if this is the first season of many, which I really hope it is, they've set up something special here. Fans of The Bridge, fans of Mindhunter, this is gonna hit for you.
People are our capital. Just make yourselves indispensable.
Now, I want to talk about industry for a second because this show has done something that almost no show does. It has genuinely gotten better every single season. Season 4 of Industry on BBC and HBO Max brings in Charlie Heaton from Stranger Things as an investigative journalist, and it works way better than it has any right to. Kit Harington, Jon Snow himself, gets an entire showcase episode that is honestly some of the best TV I've seen this year. And the reunion of Myha'la and Ken Lewing, Dream Team is back.
Wake up!
I don't think you should be.
Look, this show started out as a fairly niche satire about young bankers in London, and it has slowly evolved into one of the most compelling, most Machiavellian character studies on television. I will warn you though, this is not a comfortable watch. You will feel genuinely gross after some of these episodes, like you need a shower. But you'll also immediately start the next one, so. Alright, Beef Season 2. Now look, Season 1 of Beef was kind of a lightning in a bottle thing. The whole premise, the slow escalation of a road rage incident into complete personal destruction, it was so specific and so perfectly executed. So the question going into Season 2 was obviously, can they do it again? And the answer is kind of, yeah, it's different. Season 2 moves into this White Lotus-style country club setting, and the subplots get genuinely wild. There's stuff that goes all the way to the Seoul social scene, and it gets pretty unhinged. But here's the thing that elevates it. Yoon Yoo-jung. You know her as the sweet grandmother from Minari. She is not that here. She is spine-chilling. I don't want to say much more because it would spoil it, but she walks away with this entire season, and it is not even close. Also, Carey Mulligan and Oscar Isaac are trapped together in what is basically a scenes from a marriage situation, and it is deeply uncomfortable in the best way. This is a messier show than Season 1, but I think that's kind of the point. Now, if you read Lord of the Flies in school, you either loved it or you were made to read it and resented every page of it. Either way, the BBC's new adaptation is worth your time, regardless of where you fall on that spectrum. The premise, if you somehow don't know it, a plane crash, a group of boys marooned on a desert island, and civilization absolutely falling apart. Classic story, 70 years old. and the Jack Thorne adaptation does something really smart with it. Each of the 4 episodes is told entirely from a different boy's perspective, so instead of this kind of broad ensemble chaos, you're getting 4 deeply personal, totally different experiences of the same nightmare. It gives the whole thing so much more emotional weight than you'd expect. I've seen people compare it to Yellow Jackets, and honestly, Lord of the Flies is doing things Yellow Jackets never pulled off. It's only 4 episodes. You can finish this in a weekend. Do it.
You learn to fight.
Now, I have to be upfront. If you have not watched season 1 of 1,000 Blows, you need to do that first. Go watch it, it's great. Stephen Knight, who created Peaky Blinders, made this Victorian-era boxing drama, and it absolutely captures that same Peaky energy. Season 2 is darker though. Hezekiah Moscow, our main boxer, has been forced into the underground fight circuit. Sugar has hit the bottle hard. And Mary Carr, the queen of the all-girl crime gang, the 40 Elephants, has been knocked off her throne. But here's the thing about this show, and I cannot stress this enough. Erin Doherty as Mary Carr is one of the best performances on television right now, like full stop. She wraps this entire series around herself, like it was made specifically for her, and every scene she's in crackles. If you're a Peaky Blinders person who's been chasing that feeling since the show ended, this is your best shot at finding it again. Okay. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. This is the Game of Thrones spinoff that I think genuinely surprised everyone, and I'm including people who were excited for it. It's based on George R.R. Martin's Dunt and Egg novellas, short stories about a wandering knight named Sir Duncan the Tall and his small squire Egg, and it is so much fun. And look, I know what some of you are thinking. House of the Dragon let a lot of people down. Game of Thrones ended the way it ended. Fair. But here's what I'll say. You don't need any of that baggage to watch this. It is completely newcomer-friendly.
I ask you again, how good a knight are you?
Peter Claffey is great as Duncan. The 2 leads have genuine chemistry. It starts with a perfect tone-setting poop joke in episode 1, and the tournament sequences later on are genuinely show-stopping. 6 mostly half-hour episodes, no bloat, no filler, just a really well-made, entertaining fantasy show. I think this is the best Game of Thrones content since the peak of the original series. And my number 1 pick on this list, and honestly probably my favorite thing I've watched so far this year, is the PITT Season 2 on HBO Max. Now, if you're in the UK, both seasons just landed there at the same time. So if you're new to the show, you are actually in a great position right now because you can go straight from one to the other. Here's the concept. Every episode takes place in real time during a single shift in a Pittsburgh emergency room. And the show starts small, a sore tooth, a fractured coccyx, just another day at the ER. And then it escalates, and it escalates, and it escalates. Noah Weil, who some of you are going to remember from ER back in the day, is extraordinary here. The medical detail in this show is genuinely intense. There's a scene involving a shard of glass that I will not describe, but I will say I thought about it for 3 days. But beyond the medical stuff, the character work in this show is some of the best on TV. These are fully realized human beings who you get to know over the course of what feels like a real shift. It's exhausting in the best way. It's unmissable television, and I mean that with zero hyperbole. So that's 8 shows you should absolutely be watching right now in 2026. If this list helped you out at all, liking the video makes an enormous difference and takes literally 1 second. I'm gonna keep making these as long as you keep watching them. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.